You are going to the group number 5, the present history. Then followed by I'm going to wrap up this semester the lecture. The first, then we have the missing the exercise lab, the MongoDB. Then last week Cassandra. Then Fabia will introduce about the spanner using the Google the cloud platform. Are you ready?
Good evening, one and all. My name is Shreya and my teammate is Divya. Today, our database, NoSQL database, is Foundation DB. Firstly, the database which we have chosen is Foundation DB as mentioned, and this is a key value store database. The dataset which we have chosen is about consumer complaints. Firstly, this dataset includes, the dataset includes 1 million rows and 18 columns. And also this dataset is about services and other issues about various financial products and services. And also the link provided is available on the Kaggle website. Next, this is a snapshot of our dataset. So firstly, the main primary key which we are going to choose is going to be the subproduct and the issue. So basically here what it says is what are the different kinds of consumer complaints. It might be from in case of mortgage, credit card, things like that. And here it will say what issue exactly the consumer is facing.
In your foundation, given to the consumer complaint data set, what type of model are you going to use?
Key value.
Key value, okay.
Yes. Okay, we are running the database in Ubuntu. So firstly, after downloading the package, we need to run the FTP CLI command. So what it does is, the moment you run it, we are into the cluster. So let's say the database is available, and in order to create, put the database load the database, we have to create a cluster. Okay, so in order to view the status of the database, here it says cluster. Right now we have 1, and the coordinators, I think coordinators is 1. As you increase and run transactions, we need to add more coordinators for this. Yeah, the next will be continued by Divya.
Yeah, this is the way we use Python. We are using Python in our database to connect to the Foundation DB. In Python, we are running the code. So this is how we actually have this. There is a file over there. We have to download that. That is an API reference for Python. So after downloading that, you can go to the folder into the folder, and there you will be running Python. In Python, if you give the command import FDB, it will import the Foundation DB. And here you can give the Python programs, like you can run the different programs. And we have created a file called scheduling tutorial.python. there we have like we created a class and we have run the queries, like we have created a class for a database and subclasses, and it will run, it will initialize the data, like the database will be initialized. Later we have a file called, like there is a program in Python so that we can bulkly load the data. So if you run that file, that Python file inside this command, inside the folder, it will be, it will initialize the database and give the transactions, and in the next phase, the database will be loaded successfully.
Do you have any demonstration? Uh-huh. Okay, so where do you install your Ubuntu and your Foundation DB on your laptop? Or
Yeah, on.
So are you going to test the cluster system for your Foundation DB or just a single node?
It's just a single node.
It will be better if you can test with, of course, the GCP provide very cheap virtual machine, so you can set up the full 8 node and then test the such a Foundation DB. That will be the hands-on exercise for you guys instead of using the virtual machine on the laptop or the single node. And also, what is the front end? The purpose of the front end application, what kind of application are you going to implement?
Not sure exactly.
So you have database. So you are going to use a Python to access your database. Then what do you want to implement?
Basically, the problem statement for us is since we have a lot of queries about in the data set, in order to just retrieve the sub-issue and the product, what is giving us the issue, like it'll state, for example, just the issue and what is causing it. So those two things you're keeping in mind, and that's what we would like to.
Okay, so I need to log out and log on my account. So, we will start. Shut down. Is there any logo?
Yeah.
Sign up.
We don't need to type in, that's what we want.
And I have this laptop. But unfortunately, I cannot give extra point for your team.
Okay.
First 3 team. So that got the point, the extra point. So the user, could you text the barrier when it's coming? Okay. I'm not sure whether just in time. Okay, so thanks so much throughout the semester. Due to the complex schedule with both the UB side and the speaker, whom I'm going to supposed to be here today, the Weiwu. So I moved to the VT side to reschedule his talk regarding to the blockchain next week after Thanksgiving. So this is the overall the plan. So today is the November. I'm going to explain the also detail what you're gonna do, what you guys need to do. So today is the November the 14th. So we had the missing presentation by the group number 5 already. Then the wrap up the semester. Then I'm going to give the more information about the project that you guys to improve for the next 2 weeks till the end of the semester. And we have the missing exercise lab plus the spanner based on the GCP. Then the November 28th, so we are going to have a talk and plus the exam, followed by the talk. So I expect the talk will be 30 to 45 minutes, so less than an hour. So I'm going to start no matter what when we start the talk. The exam will be 7 to 8 p.m. Okay. More details of the exam, I'm going to email out by the end of this week several possible topics that you guys can study, okay, during the Thanksgiving. Some, I do not know how many, the multiple choices, some the multiple choices, and several, I do not know yet, the open-ended question that you guys need to fill out something writing on. So, but if you took all the lectures throughout the semester, you probably can easily answer those questions. Also project. I'm going to ask the couple of questions regarding to your project also. Okay? So please, you don't have too much serious. Instead, focus on the project. So December, I think the 5th is a Wednesday, right? We will have the oral presentation regarding to your project. This presentation for each team 8 to 10 minutes. So including the question and answer, so it will be like the 1 hour, 40 minutes, it will be easily 2 hours, the presentation. This is will be graded. So then, I'm thinking December 12th. December 12th. I think the December 12th, the daytime. So we are going to decide when is the best time, but right now I'm thinking 12 to 2 p.m. So for the poster session, so I'm going to ask to the printer service to print out your poster, like the poster you can see on the in the Tech engineering building. So we will print out the 2 feet by 3 feet poster, then we will have the 10 poster. So I'm thinking to use the South Shore because we can use the somewhere tech building, but I'm going to also order the pizza and the drink, but which is not allowed in tech building. So we cannot have a food or beverage, the drink inside the building of the tech building. So we are going to use probably the South Shore, which is a little bit packed, but we still have such a poster workshop, poster session. So this will be the rough schedule. So regarding to the project, so because we are dealing with the NoSQL database, so using the NoSQL database usually used for what? It's a backend to store the data. Okay. Even though database provide sometimes a very nice interface part, or you can use visualization. Anyway, database will be used the main storage of your data. However, since we have the very large data, and also since our data, the structure is a semi-structure or the graph structure, it's non-conventional data structure, we need something different, a database management system, which is the NoSQL database. Also, we can sometimes focus on the scalability, or sometimes we can focus on the different characteristics of based on the CAP theorem. So you need to highlight such a characteristic of your selected database. So for example, if you just pick the one of for example, the last the group 5 example. So we are using the foundation database. Foundation database support the multi-model, which means it can be KV or it can be document-based. It can be the many things. Then if you decide one of the thing, like the KV, so you need to construct like based on what the denormalization, or something grouping or aggregation. You can not only just one data source is a complaint database, but you can have something joining. So some of the attribute of such a complaint database probably have some code or something number. So you need to think about such the KV, key value specific data model. Sometimes intentionally to show something the power or characteristic of your database. So that is the modeling, and also so most of the NoSQL databases support the scalability. So if you are using just the single laptop, like what you did in your programming class or the database class, so I'm using the single node, you cannot get the full benefit of such a NoSQL database. So because of that, I provide GCP, or if you want, you can use the cloud services, or you can try even the computer in the lab, then remotely connect such a lab. So one of my master project student building the Hadoop cluster using the computer in the lab. So she can successfully implement the Hadoop cluster using the a number of the PC in the lab. So please think about the way to show such a scalability. Then in your writing up and in your poster session, so probably in your proposal you define your problem, what you are going to do. At that time, not all the NoSQL database or the application are available for the very fancy, nice data analytics. Okay, so you can focus on I'd like to show something capability of the scalability on your selected database. At the time, I test the one database and the 2 node, the 4 node, and then see the difference. Then, or I'd like to show the power of the consistency with something the distributed database. Then how much the consistency are doable, or so think about to show up the feature of your selected database. So if you have something the experience or your NoSQL database support something the analysis, data analytics is also better. So somebody would like to see your research project. I have the business problem, this one. So for the database backend part, whether your database is a good choice or not, it's kind of you are going to set advertise your selected database for such a purpose, such a customer. So not just, but if you just I have the Python sample program to access the database, that's it. Then nothing new. You do not learn anything from the project. So please think about the front end part, the application part. So if you, many of the students are thinking something the data analytics, whether we can do the big query or the fast, the access to the data to the NoSQL database is very fast. It's not the online transaction. Also, some of the students are thinking about the visualization or the business intelligence, the application. Also, some of the students would like to test like the benchmarking. So whether the single node, the 2 node, the multi-node, or whether it's faster than the other. So also what kind of query type are the possible, or whether they support the join, application level join, or the other join which are popular in the conventional database, not popular in the NoSQL database. So think about define the more interesting problem, then implement it. Then for the writing up, so I'm going to give the more information about the writing up. So even though you did well in your proposal, so in this writing up, I'm asking you to use the typical IEEE format, the 2-column format, to learn how to use the technical writing, the template. So at that time, the first title. Title is the most important part. So even including as an instructor, me. So when I see your writing up, first I try to see whether title is really interesting and reasonable. The title needs to show everything that you have done in your research or the review or the paper. That need to show your objective, problem, what you are doing, what should be mentioned. Okay, like not just the title of your NoSQL database, or for example, the comparison, the result of the NoSQL database using one, something like that. So what should be mentioned? Then using the blah blah blah, using foundation DB, means how should be mentioned. So 2 things are reflected on your title, what and the how. because we are writing the research technical paper. Technical paper should be reasonable, rational. Okay, it's not like the essay. It's not like the fiction, even non-fiction. No, it's a technical writing. Technical writing is you don't need any the high level vocabulary. Forget about any word used in the GRE or whatever. It's just like the math textbook. Okay, it should be perfect as it is. So then you have something author information, team information, including the affiliation like the University of Bridgeport. Then the abstract. Abstract is usually used for what? To advertise purpose. So most of the publication journal will be the set from the publication or publisher. So they don't want to release the entire the writing up. Instead, they just release the abstract. Okay, abstract is very similar as a summary, but that doesn't include any special character. That doesn't include any font. So it can be the plain text file. Okay, even it's not recommended to use quotation, single quote, double quotation. Only the comma or the period. Then it summarizes all what you did in your paper. So I usually recommend to write the abstract at the end after you finish your writing. Then start with the main body. Start with the introduction. So introduction is introduce the research, what you have in your project. Okay, it should be very interesting. Okay, so for example, nowadays, everybody use the relational database, but they suffer from the scalability, something like that. To address the such a problem, so we research on the NoSQL database, especially focusing on the graph database, Neo4j, something like that. Then something interesting, the statement. Then sometimes you can put something statistics, how much popular the nowadays NoSQL database, and so on. Then your contribution of the paper can be included. Okay. Then usually the introduction part end with the plan for the next section. Like section 2 will talk about the related work or the literature survey. Section 3 is the method, and section 4 and show the plan for the rest of the paper remainder. Then the second section is for the related work or similar work. So if you mostly we are using the NoSQL database, you can briefly summarize the existing NoSQL database. Or if you are focusing on the graph database, so you can show what kind of graph database are used and their main the pros and cons, something like that. Okay? And then briefly show why you among those the related work, why you select this database. So on. Then third one to be before, it depends on the writing or the research type. It can be the multiple section of the body. But the last one, let's say this is the conclusion or concluding remark. So you can have the main body. So main body usually shows the technical writing, shows the method. So based on existing one, what you are going to do. So I strongly suggest to the next one as the problem definition that you define in your proposal. What you are going to do, why what the reader can expect from your writing. Okay. So the problem 1 is the scalability. Problem 2, data modeling for the NoSQL database. Problem 3 is the application, implementation of the front end, the application, or the BI solution, something like that. So then for that, sometimes for each define the problem, So you can have the one section for the solution approach. So next one is this, next one is this. Or you can have the one, the section and the subsection. One is the approach or solution of the first problem, solution for the second problem, solution for the next problem. Also, if you have something region, for example, I'd like to compare the NoSQL database with the other. Well, I'd like to see the different performance, one node, single node, two node, four node. Then you may have the result, right? You can show such a result in the experiment. This can be the separate part, evaluation. Evaluation, or sometimes it's called the experimental result. If you just implement the front-end part, you can show the screenshot of your front-end, or the data flow diagram from your Python. So we are going to use the event. Then using the application server, access the NoSQL database and return the data and display it like that. So you can show the data flow and the program or the architecture environment you can specify. Then also you can show what is your selected to use the data set and their modeling. It can be the part of your main, or it can be experimental result. So it depends on the purpose it can be. Then finally, concluding lemma. Don't forget any reference. Any cited paper you can include with the purpose citation. One of the three more things. First, the figure is usually bottom of the figure. Figure 1 and caption. Okay? This figure should be referenced in your body. So like in figure 1, we show something. So this should be mentioned in your body. Otherwise, if this is not referenced, cross-referenced, you don't need figure. Okay? You should mention. So usually the bottom of the figure. If you have table, like this table is usually the above, before the table, like the table. Same thing. The result are shown in table 1, like that. It should be mentioned. Otherwise, you don't need the table. Okay? It's a really basic thing. Then, so for example, in your body, so there are existing the NoSQL database like the MongoDB and citation. You need to put the citation. There are different types of citation. So you can use any format, but I typically suggest to use the number. Okay? Then number should be here. The number 1, paper. The paper citation, the bibliography, they are good. So best way is you can go to the I2P. You are able to access the I2P Explorer, the database, then find the paper with the title. Then they provide the formatted, the reference. Okay, you can just copy and paste. So you can do this writing with the MS Word. You can download the Word format, I2P, the 2-column Word format, but usually using Word is a little bit painful. You need to sometimes the formatting and the changing the size and location by yourself. If you are anyone who ever used the LaTeX, so LaTeX is a tag like the markup language. So it's a tag-based program language for publication. You can create a PDF file. So if you are interested in any research, even master student can be the part of the research center, or you should be able to use the LaTeX. This is the strongest suggestion. So even though you never use, most of computer science students easily can use to use the LaTeX. It's really fun. Okay? So why don't you try? So you can find more information from the Google. So how to start the LaTeX, then bunch of the research. You should have the editor. Actually, you don't need the editor. So you can actually compile, download the LaTeX and compile, but I strongly suggest to use the editor. Then you can actually, the 1 or 2 click, create a PDF. Really nice format. Okay, nowadays, especially PhD students should know how to use the LaTeX. So it doesn't matter. Word is easy, but not perfect. So you need to manually. But probably you guys are familiar with this one. But if you are interested to use the LaTeX, I strongly suggest. Also, one more thing for the figure. This figure quality. Sometimes you copy and paste from your screenshot and so on. The highest possible, the resolution. Okay. Otherwise, I strongly suggest to create a PDF format, the images. JPEG even is a compressed one, so you may lose the quality. So if in case you need to use the JPEG, really big size file, then include the writing. So these are really the general, the suggestion to write the paper. Any questions? Practice. This is really good practice for the writing. I don't think I have a time to revise, correct your content, but at least you need to learn how to use the technical paper writing. You need to know. So it's a good practice. So then the poster presentation. Poster presentation is slightly different. The strategy. It's kind of sure the writing. The technical writing will be, once it is published, so it will be the official, okay? Automatically you have the copyright for 1 year, okay? So until you file the patent, so you have the right. So you can do whatever you want. But the poster is not published, but it can be used for just the show, what I'm doing, and the using graphics, and using the nice design and so on. So, but this is not the design class. This is not the graphic design, industrial design. So I do not really focus on the designing part. But please think about the in general the design. Like do not use a very small font. It's 2 feet, 24 inch by 36. So this size. So you need to use the proper font size, and also graphic. Also think about the high resolution. If in case you need to copy and paste. So please do not copy and paste the paper to the poster. Instead, minimize the writing. Okay, minimize the text. Then instead you can put more the figure, even though it is not in your paper. Some contents can be represented by something nice, not animation is not movie, the picture or something other. Think about such a way. But still, you need to use the proper caption and the figure number, table number, and the much less citation. But please include 1, 2, or 3 reference. Okay. Keep that, and then I'm going to upload the template of the poster, PPT or PPTX file format. But if you already